Hey guys, it's the Bottom Line View here to do my Patriots recap of their win over the Denver Broncos. A huge win, a win that I really wasn't expecting to be this big wide of a margin. Really, when you looked at two teams coming in with the Patriots and the Broncos, you really thought that this game was going to be close. You looked at the game last year, the Broncos were crushing the Patriots at halftime, and the Patriots came back to win that one, and then the Broncos ended up to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. This game may have big things when it comes to the playoffs. These two teams are going to be two teams that are going to be fighting for a spot in the Super Bowl, along with some other teams. But the Patriots and the Broncos, whatever team Brady and Manning is on, always seem to be there in the end in the AFC. So I'm going to break down the offense, the Patriots offense versus the Broncos defense, the Broncos offense versus the Patriots defense, and special teams. Then I'm going to go over the stats and really talk about how the Patriots really got this win, and how it really played out, how the Patriots were able to crush the Broncos in a 43-21 win. Patriots defense was huge in this game, obviously, forcing the Broncos and forcing Peyton to feel uncomfortable all game long. Really, if you watched that game and if you didn't look at this, just looked at the stats, you would be able to see that the Broncos were uncomfortable. Patriots forced them. They played physical. They rushed the passer, and that was the difference in this one. The Patriots defense played a lot of mixed matchups. They didn't really stick one guy on one guy. They didn't play all Revis on Demarius. They played Revis on Demarius in key situations. They played Browner on Julius in key situations. They mixed it up, and that was great. They played a lot of man, a lot of zone, different times. They sent a lot of A-gap pressure with Jamie Collins and Akeem Ayers was excellent on pass rush. Really, Manning was rather having to roll to his left, where he's uncomfortable throwing the ball, obviously being a right-handed quarterback and not being so mobile. And then also even getting sacks and hurries and bad throws. A couple times Peyton just threw the ball and it could have been intercepted. One time it actually landed in Kyle Arrington's hands, but he wasn't able to catch the ball. Um, Many different times you could see that the Patriots working their blitz schemes had different guys dropping back, different guys rushing. They played kind of this sub defense, but a lot of times it was kind of like an amoeba defense where they would have where Ninkovich would be standing up, they would have Wilfork standing up sometimes. You didn't know who was rushing, who was dropping back, and that seemed to confuse Peyton somewhat. Another impressive part about the Patriots defense is that they were able to stop the run with guys like Wilfork, Dominic Easley inside. Jamie Collins and Dante Hightower were huge in this game because of that reason, as well as them being able to take away crossing routes. Because a lot of times the Broncos would see that man straight across the board. Peyton would switch to some sort of crossing routes play where Emmanuel Sanders, Demaryius Thomas would come on drags, slants, and um, they were able to take that away. That was really important for them. They weren't just playing man; they were playing sort of a man zone where if there was a crossing route, the guy would switch with Hightower and Collins, and they did a really good job not getting confused by anything that the Broncos threw at them. Ninkovich was outstanding, just probably the best defensive player of this game. I would say him and Patrick Chung were both very good in this game. Patrick Chung has looked great since we've got him back. Looked like the player that we once drafted in this early in the second round. Revis and Browner played physical. They were disrupting Demarius and Emmanuel Sanders. Even with they got their stats, but they were enough. They're enough. A jam at the line. Revis played well, minus that first quarter, and he really whoever he was covering really didn't do much. A lot of the times they played so well that Peyton was having to throw into double coverage to guys like Jacob Tammy. So that just shows how well that they did, really taking away key guys in key situations. I was really impressed with the rush defense because they haven't been good at rush D the whole year, and even with the Broncos, they're not a good rushing offense. but Ronnie Hillman has looked good and he's put up his 100-yard games. So I was impressed with the Patriots rush defense. Julius Thomas was on lock. He was completely on lock. It didn't matter if we had Browner on him, if we put Jamie Collins on him, if we had a double coverage, if we bracket him. We just had it blank. We just had him blanketed all over the field. Um, Patrick Chung and Jamie Collins double teamed him sometimes. There's times where Browner would take him and be physical with him. He really didn't want none of that. I thought they did an excellent job with Julius Thomas, and I really think that teams going forward should look at this scheme and really take a lot away from this. The Broncos had no answer for a lot of the stuff that the Patriots were doing. Patriots stepped up in third and fourth downs, and that was the difference in the game. They really just like I said, confused Peyton enough to get this team to win, and only let the Broncos score 21 points. Obviously, the fans and the home field advantage had something to do with it, but really the weather wasn't much of a factor in this game. The wind wasn't that great, maybe early in the game, but even later in the game, it didn't really have much of a factor. I think it was more of a factor in the kicking game than it was in the passing game. And just an excellent game plan by Belichick, and excellent job by executing it by the Patriots defense. Patriots offense versus the Broncos defense. Just a straight machine throughout this game. The Patriots offense looked like the best offense in the league. I'm not going to say that they are the best offense in the league. I still think the Broncos offense is the best in the league. The Patriots definitely proved that they're a top 5 offense in this league. Brady looked very, very good. Even the plays, even the throws that he did miss, he rather missed long, or the guys dropped the ball most of the time, or he was escaping a sack. Plays that he really didn't miss any throws that could have really changed the course of the game. Obviously, they scored 43 points. How many points? 7 of that were from special teams, but that's it. They scored a lot of points. They had time of possession, which is huge against Peyton Manning. Time of possession is huge. The run game wasn't that great. Okay, didn't expect it to be that good coming in, but if you watched my preview of the game, I really said that I don't think they're going to be running the ball a lot. I think they're going to be taking advantage of the linebackers and the safeties of the Broncos. That's what seemed to happen. The Patriots were able to take advantage of that cheap bastard TJ Ward, in my opinion. I'm not a fan of him. I think really, I know you're taught to go low when you're tackling Gronk, but at least try to make it less obvious that you're trying to injure the guy. Like on that one tackle, he just flew straight at his knees. You could have easily just wrapped him up, or forced him down by like slowing him down and then getting more players to the ball, and just like the guy looks like a freaking missile diving at his knees. Like, come on, man. That's kind of cheap, but that's if you're a Broncos fan, I'm sure you don't have a problem with that. But anyways, I thought they took advantage of Talib when he was matched up on Gronk. He got a lot of penalties. Talib had a horrible game, in my opinion. I thought he didn't play good. Just overall, the Broncos defense was trash. They couldn't match up with the Patriots offense, and it really showed. Obviously, Edelman had a huge day. LaFell had a pretty good day, even though he dropped a touchdown, which could have put 50 points on the board, almost. And I thought the Patriots offense overall was good. I think the only negative for the Patriots offense was Shane Vereen. I think Shane Vereen didn't have a very good day, but he did step up in clutch situations. He got that touchdown, and then he also converted that 4th down, which was pretty big. Just Edelman was outstanding in this game. He was just breaking dudes' ankles, running routes. He was amazing on special teams, which I'll get to. And just their scheme, their game plan coming in was excellent. I know Brady's record versus Jack Del Rio's defenses is very good, and it continued today, obviously. A lot of times, Broncos didn't know what to do. They were playing all-out zone. They were playing straight man-to-man. Then in the second half, they started sending like 6, 7 guys at the quarterback. Brady was getting rid of the ball. Von Miller wasn't able to rush. DeMarcus Ware wasn't doing anything rushing the passer, so they dropped him back, tried to disrupt Gronkowski's lane, but that didn't even work. So I think the Patriots' offense overall was excellent. And Jonas Gray didn't really have much of an impact in this game, like I said, but he did get yards where it was needed. And I think that the Patriots offense did an excellent job of distributing their play calling. Obviously, when I said it earlier in the preview, I said that the Patriots need to stick with the run even if it's not successful. That's what they did because they're an excellent play action team. Okay, and they distributed the ball. Brady distributed the ball. And they really controlled the pace of the game, which was what you needed to do versus a Denver Broncos offense. Special teams, probably, like I've said, I think this is the best special teams in the league, and I'm not being biased when I say that. Okay, you got a 3-time Pro Bowler, Gunner, and Matthew Slater. The best special teams or straight special teams are in the league, in my opinion. You got Steven Gostkowski, who is one of the top 3 kickers in the NFL. Ryan Allen has improved a ton, and he looked very good in his limited attempts. You have Casillas now, who got like 4 or 5 tackles on the punts and kickoffs. You have guys like Jones and Bolden, who are both very good on special teams. Edelman is one of the best punt returners that the Patriots have ever had, and this league's really ever seen. He's top. He's in the current NFL, and any player that's playing in the NFL, he has the best average for punt returns in the NFL. So I would say he's probably the second best punt returner in the league, minus Devin Hester. Amendola is another good punt returner and a good kick returner. Overall, just an excellent performance by the special teams, good coaching, and I think the special teams unit is really special. The stats. Okay, let's go over the stats. Peyton Manning, we'll go over Denver's first. Peyton Manning was 34 for 57, 438 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One Welker got absolutely destroyed by Jamie Collins, and Brandon Browner ended up picking it off. It was sort of a bad decision by Peyton, but really Welker should have caught the ball. He did get destroyed on the play act, so I won't really blame Welker for that. So I guess it's more on Peyton for that interception, but it's hard to really credit him with that interception. And he got sacked once on the key 4th down by Akeem Ayers. Really didn't see it coming. He was looking down the field, and Akeem Ayers he turned around. Akeem Ayers just smoked him. Ronnie Hillman was 10 attempts, 16 yards. That's very impressive rush defense right there, especially in a sub defense where you only really have 3 defensive linemen playing. 7 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown. So really what the Patriots decided to do was play soft underneath, where they would kind of let Peyton complete those underneath passes, come up and tackle, which was good. I think it worked out, obviously. And Ronnie Hillman really was benefiting from that in his stats, where he would catch a lot of 2-yard passes and kind of take them a little bit farther with his yards after the catch. He got a touchdown. The touchdown was really Jamie Collins' fault, in my opinion, because they did a gap blitz where Jamie Collins was switched off because I think they were trying to cover Darrelle Revis with Demaryius Thomas, because there's 2 guys on the left side. Browner and Revis were there, and Browner was telling Revis to come and match up with Demaryius, and then that ended up sending Jamie Collins back into the middle linebacker spot where Jamie Collins was supposed to match up on Ronnie Hillman, but Ronnie Hillman ended up being wide open on a swing because Jamie Collins just decided to blitz. The pressure did get to Peyton, but Ron Hillman was wide open, and it was too late for Browner to run over and tackle. Demaryius Thomas had 7 receptions for 127 yards. Again, that wasn't all against Revis or Browner. It was a combination of zone, man, and I think they did a very good job, even with those 7 receptions, 127 yards. A lot of those catches were you couldn't have stopped those catches. Like a couple times he just made nice catches, or Peyton put the ball where you can't defend it, or there were little small drag routes and he took it for about 10 yards. So I think they did a good job. Emmanuel Sanders did have a good game. He had 10 receptions for 151 yards. He also got hurt during the game, but he ended up coming back as 100% after looking like he was about to go to the hospital. So it didn't really make sense for him to really complain that much about his ribs when he looked 100% after. Anyways, he got hurt actually trying to tackle Ninkovich. So he had 10 receptions, 151 yards. He looked good. We really didn't have anybody to match up on him. We matched up Revis, Browner, and Arrington on him most of the time. Julius Thomas really got shut down. That was the key of the game. 2 receptions, 33 yards, 1 touchdown where Peyton put it in the perfect spot. Welker had 3 catches, 31 yards, and got popped and left the game. Patriots, DeMarcus Ware got 1 sack. That was their only sack of the day. The Patriots, Brady, 33 for 53, 333 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, which was tipped off. It was tipped twice. It was tipped off Derek Wolf's hands, and then it was tipped off Danny Amendola, where if he was maybe an inch taller, he would have caught it. But it was kind of a poor decision by Brady, so he did throw that interception, but it was also kind of catchable, and it did get tipped at the line. He got sacked once by DeMarcus Ware. Jonas Gray, 12 attempts, 33 yards. Not really a factor. Brady, was awesome. Brady was excellent. Completing throws off on the run, in the pocket, doing whatever he did. He even converted a 4-yard quarterback sneak. Gronk, 9 receptions, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. Right now, probably the second best offensive weapon, wide receiver, tight end in the league. Behind Antonio Brown, he's been an absolute beast. LaFell, 6 receptions, 53 yards, a touchdown, wide open on that touchdown. He released off a slant wide open in the end zone. Played good and made some good catches. He did drop a couple, but that happens. Edelman, 9 receptions, 89 yards, 1 touchdown. Again, Edelman was outstanding. Punt return touchdown in the end zone where Brady created the play and threw to him. And just continually torched this Denver Broncos defense. Amendola had 2 catches for 35 yards. Ninkovich had an interception. Browner had an interception. Ayers had a sack. Jamie Collins played huge with 10 tackles and creating pressure. So overall, the Patriots crushed the Broncos in this game. Really didn't expect this to happen. Again, shows that Peyton doesn't have his best games in Foxborough. Sorry, Broncos fans. So we're going to see where these two teams take off. The Patriots do have a tougher schedule leading into the playoffs. I'm thinking they'll make the playoffs. They're rated as the number 1 team in the ESPN Power Rankings. The Denver Broncos are 3rd. So we'll see what happens. So this has been the Bottom Line View. Patriots recap of their win over the Broncos. Definitely pumped about this. Pumped where this leads the Patriots in the future. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Peace.